Okay, in the previous session, we created a table using domains and data elements, right? So instead of built-in types, we have created domains and data elements. So what are the advantages of using domains and data element? The first advantage is reusability. Okay, you can use same domains and data elements in different tables. Whenever you have same field in a different table, you don't need to worry about what length you have to select and what is the data type you have to choose and what is the description you have to provide. Just use existing data element. Okay, then all the relevant properties will be automatically applied to that table field, right? When you add the data element in the table level. So yesterday we have created this table with all these data elements. Okay, so the main advantage of data element is reusability. You can use same data element in different tables, many tables. Okay, whenever you are creating a table that contains a field employee ID, you can just use this data element. You don't need to worry about the length, type, or description. Okay, the other advantage, the next advantage is we have some special features available in the domain level and in the data element level. Okay, first we'll see the features in domain level. What is domain? What is a domain?
It
Domain
can
is a
define
technical attribute
technically.
of the table
Hmm.
field. Technical attribute in the sense data type, length. Okay, the special features available in domain is one of the important feature is case sensitive option and value ranges. Okay, value ranges. You can add values, allowed values for this domain. Okay, that is in the form of fixed values or intervals. Intervals in the sense range. For example, 1 to 100 or 100 to 200 or 300 to 100 400. So these are the allowed ranges you are going to provide here. So here you can provide fixed values. So I'll give you some example for fixed values. Let's say it is a gender field. The field name is gender and you are creating a domain for gender. Okay, then what would be the values we can configure here? Male, female,
Female.
and other. Only three categories are available as of now. Okay, so if you like, let's say if you are creating this for a employee ID, and if you want to define some limit for your company, right? The possible employee IDs anyone can select. So here you will provide the ranges, right? Lower limit 1 and upper limit 1000. So beyond 1000 you cannot select. Okay, it will restrict that range to 1 to 1000. Like that you can select multiple ranges also. Next range is 2000 to 3000, like that. Okay, here in the fixed values like this, M, F, O. Okay, right? Fixed values are suitable only for these kind of properties like gender or week or months, right? For these kind of values you can enter fixed values, right? For these kind of values like employee IDs or any department ID, maybe department ID also can be a fixed value because there might be only limited departments. And we have one more option, that is value table. We can also add that possible entries, right, in the form of table also. We'll see one by one. So when you use the domain, you can use all these features, right? So that by using value ranges, you can configure the allowed values. okay, for that domain, okay. Wherever you are using the domain, that allowed values will be automatically applied to that field. And in the data element level, and in data element level, you have field labels. Field labels are nothing but report headers. And we have some other options too, like change document, parameter ID. These are the few important options available in data element level. By using data element and domain in the table, so you're going to use all these additional features along with the reusability of the data element. Okay, so what is data element? Data element is the semantic, okay, data element is the semantic property of the table field. So data element is a semantic property of the table field. Semantic in the sense field description, field labels, etc. And domain is technical attribute of the table field. Okay, one is semantic, the domain is technical. Technical attribute in the sense data type, length. Okay, so can we create a data element without using domain? Can we create a data element without domain?
Yes, sir.
By using built-in type, you can create. Okay, if you don't want the features of the domain, like case sensitive option or value ranges, you can just create using built-in type. You don't need to use domain. Okay, so now we'll create one more table. We'll create one table for department, employee, department data. So it's a department master data. Okay, whatever the departments available in the company, you are going to configure in this department master table. So select what type of table it is, application table, maintenance allowed. Go to the field. What will be the primary key for department master table? DEPT ID is the primary key. And do we have a data element? Let's assume we don't have a suitable data element. I'm going to create it. Enter. There is no data element available. Double click on it. So I'm selecting the local package for now. Save the table. I'm creating the data element now. Okay, what is it? Zemo. Okay, already defined as a structure. It is saying zdemo dept is all okay. We are using the same name, right? As table name. So table name and data element name should not be same. Okay. So that dept ID. We'll use dept ID. Double click. So maintain the field labels. And then what is the next step? You have to provide domain. Let's say if you don't want to use any features of the domain, you can go for a built-in type. Okay, I'm using same name for the domain as data element. So I'll take char 6 or maybe char 10 as my domain department ID. Okay, so it's not case sensitive. So then I'm not selecting case sensitive option. Just activate this. No. S- So, so what else required for department master table? So department ID is there. What are the other details required in the department master table? Department ID. What are the other details required? For now, department ID is enough for me. Okay, to maintain department master data, right? Name is optional anyway. If you want to maintain department name, you can maintain the technical settings. So it's a master table. I'm selecting APPL 0 and I'm selecting size category 0. Save. Okay, domain is not active. I think. Yeah, activate the data element. Your domain is active. Check the syntax. Enhancement category you have to maintain. Okay, our table is active now. Now let's maintain some data. No data in it. Now let's maintain some data. Okay, save it. Save the Java department also. Save Python. Save IT and HR. Okay. Now we have 5 departments created in the department master table. Okay. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's go back to our employee table. Or I'll create a separate table for employee department data. Okay. To know the employee department, I'm going to maintain employee and his department in a separate table. That is, let me create one more table. So let's keep this employee ZDemo employee as employee master data. Yeah, let's keep this employee table as it is. So we'll create one more table to link employee ID and department ID. Okay. So that table, we're going to use the table to link employee ID and department ID. Which employee belongs to which department? We are going to link in that table. Okay. I've already told you, right? We're not going to keep all the data in same table. We are going to break data into different tables. Okay. Employee department. Select delivery class A, display maintenance allowed, fields. Now tell me. So now what I'm saying here, what is the purpose of this table? To link employee and department, right? To
Yes, sir.
maintain department of the employees. Which employee belongs to which department? Or in the other way, which department contains which employees? Okay. Now what are the
Yes,
primary
sir.
keys required here?
Employee ID.
So in my case, one employee can work for multiple departments. Please observe carefully. In my case, in my business scenario, one employee might work for multiple departments. Like he know SAP and he knows Java, so that he is working for two departments at the same time, right? So now tell me what are the primary keys required for this table to maintain a department-wise employee?
Department ID.
Yeah, let's DEPT ID. Do we need to create the data element?
Mhm.
Do we need to create the data element or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to create.
Why we need to create? We just created a data
Already
element, right?
data element.
We just created a data
But
element
sir,
for department ID. Why you need to create again and
we,
again for
yeah,
this
we can
for
use
the
the
same
same thing.
field? Just reuse it. Okay?
Sir.
Just reuse the already created data element. Okay? Now, what is the other field to link department and employee ID? Obviously, employee ID is required, right? Use the same field name. Don't use different field names. Try to use same field names. And then what is the data element for employee ID? Zdemo employee ID. Now, can we maintain departments and employee data? Employees of each department are um, a department assigned for each employee. Can we add records? Can we link a department ID and employee ID using this table? So it will be like this. Okay. So what is the primary key here in this table? Department ID, right?
Department ID.
This is DEPT ID and it's a primary key, and it is EMP ID. It's not a primary key as of now. Let's assume department SAP and we assign employee ID 100. Department Java. Can we assign the same employee 100 for the other department?
Maybe different ID. Sure.
as per this table and primary keys, please observe. We have two fields. One is department ID and another one is employee ID. Here only department ID is primary key. What does that mean? Primary key means
We can use it.
department ID should be unique. There should not be repeated entries for department ID. Employee ID can be repeated because it's not a primary key, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Employee 200 that belongs to SAP department.
Python.
One more employee 300 also belongs to SAP department. Now tell me, is this table is going to accept the data like this?
No, sir.
No, because
That
department IDs are repeating, but that is for different employee, not for the same employee. Data is valid, right?
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Data is valid. Yeah. These employees can work in these departments, right? So employee ID
Yes,
100
sir.
is working in SAP department. Employee ID 200 is also working in department SAP. 300 is also working in department SAP. That is valid, right? They can work. But table is not going to allow because department IDs are repeating, right? Now, if you make only employee ID as primary key, what will happen?
It
It will,
won't apply
yeah, one employee can work for only one department in that
one
case.
department.
It won't allow one employee with multiple departments. Okay? Here, like this. If you make employee ID as primary key, this employee ID 100 is working for two different departments, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not going to allow.
Yeah.
It will allow only one record if you make employee ID as primary key. So to avoid that, what we need to do, we have to make both fields as primary keys. Okay, right? Now it will check for the combination of department ID and employee ID. Now tell me, is there a duplicate record now?
No, sir.
Combination of,
With
so that,
different employee.
yeah,
Right. Right.
one employee can work for multiple departments now, and one department can contain multiple employees, right?
Yes, sir.
Now save the table. What is the next step? These are the two fields required to link department ID and employee ID. Only these two fields are required for me. Is this correct or not? Do we need any additional fields? If I know the employee ID, I can read his department from this table, right? And I can read his name from employee master table, right? His name, city, country from employee master table. And I can read his department from department table. Okay, correct?
Yeah.
If you know the employee ID. Or if you know the department ID, you can check who are all the employees working for this department. Now maintain the technical settings. You already did. Activate it. Okay. Now our table is ready. We'll maintain some data. Department SAP 100. So I'm just entering some data here, right? How do you know that it is a valid department or not? How do you know is this SAP is a valid department or not? How can you say that? Even if I enter some incorrect values, is it a valid department as per our scenario?
No.
No, right? So it's still allowing, right, to create with that invalid
Yes.
department. Do you have such kind of employee ID? Do you have such kind
No.
of department?
No.
Still it is allowing. Go and check the data. Did I just add this field to the department master table instead of
Creating new one.
I did a mistake. Uh, this is the department master table. Okay, let me delete here. Activate it, and you know the next step what you have to do. Go to database utility, edit. Okay, this is department master data. Here we have only one ID. Let's close this. And this is the link. I think we have to add here employee ID. Okay, let's make it as a primary key. Save it. And maintain the technical settings. That's why I wonder how technical settings are automatically populated. Department ID has invalid type, not active. Am I in the different server or what? This is active. It seems I'm doing that in a different server, like 2020 server. Let me create again quickly. Create. In projects, when they give you the requirement, right, it looks very simple. It looks very simple, but when you start working on it, so we'll do all these mistakes and it will take time. Okay, so instead of one server, we're going to select different server. 0. Okay, done. So now activate the table. So earlier I've created in a different server, 2020 server. There, these data elements and domains are not available. Now let's go and maintain the data. First, let's check what are the valid departments and what are the employee IDs, valid employee IDs. Execute. So So these are the valid departments already configured, right, in the department master table. These are the valid departments. Whatever the departments available in ZDemo DEPT are the valid departments. That's what my consideration. Okay, because ZDemo department is the master table for departments. Now, what are the valid employees? Whatever the records available in ZDemo employee are the valid employee IDs in my organization. Here what I am doing, I am linking department ID and employee ID, right? So that I can maintain department wise employees or employees of each department. Go and create the data, create entries. So employee ID, do we have employee ID 500?
No, sir.
No. Okay, do we have uh,
Admin. We don't have.
do we have SQL department? No, right?
No. No, sir.
Ideally, so these two are not valid departments. Click on save. It is still allowing, right? Ideally, it should not allow because this employee is not a valid employee and this department is not a valid department. Correct? Because there is no validation. Because there is no validation provided or validation applied on these fields, right? Here in this table, department employee department table, so that it is allowing any value. Okay? So that it is allowing any value. Now let's apply some validation on it, or let's apply some possible entries. Okay, possible entries for the department data. So what is foreign key?
Foreign key is a check the table.
Yep. So foreign key is a relationship between two tables. We're going to establish a relationship between two tables. One is foreign key table and the other one is a check table. Okay. So what the current table we call as foreign key table, and the one that and the table which we establish the relationship we call that as a check table. So check table we also foreign key we also use for field level validations. Okay, foreign keys, when we use foreign key,
Field level validation.
field level validations. Okay, so here we have two tables. One is foreign key table and check table. So what is the foreign key table and what is the check table? So the current table, what we are applying the validation, right? The table on which we are applying the foreign key relationship, that is called foreign key table. The table which we are using as a check table is called check table. Okay. So by using foreign key, we can establish a relationship between two tables. Okay. There are some mandatory rules to be followed to apply the foreign key relationship. The first one is there should be a data element created for that field, and the type and the name of the data element should be same for the both table fields. Here in our example, for employee ID, field employee ID, we're going to apply a foreign key relationship. Select the employee ID, click on this key symbol. So this is to assign a foreign key. Now tell me, what is a foreign key table here? This is the
Wait a
foreign key
minute.
table. This table, whatever we are applying foreign key relationship, is called foreign key table. And the one which we are using as check table, what is the master table for employee data? What is the master table for employee ID data? This one, right? Correct? And this field, right? Whatever the field we are applying foreign key relationship, that should be a primary key in the check table. So ZDemo employee is the check table now. So that should be a primary key here. Here in the foreign key table, this may not be a primary key. Okay? This can be a non-primary key field also in the foreign key table. But this employee ID should be a primary key in the check table. Okay? And the data element should be same. Here we are using GDemo employee ID, and here also we are using GDemo employee ID. So this GDemo employee department is the foreign key table, and this one, what is the check table for this field? Employee ID. What is the check table for this employee ID? This one, ZDemo employee master data is the check table. Okay. Now establish the foreign key relationship. Click on foreign keys. Now provide the check table. What is the check table? Or just try this create proposal. We'll see if we get anything. Create proposal. So it's not proposing anything. Enter check table. ZDemo employee is the check table for my field employee ID. Okay. Now click on create proposal. Now we are assigning foreign key table or foreign key relationship for this employee ID. Now observe here, it is automatically assigned the foreign key relationship when you click on the create proposal, because the data element of the both fields are same, right? The data element of the employee ID field in ZDemo employee and ZDemo department both are same, right? So that it will automatically assign foreign key
Yes,
relationship
sir.
when you click on create proposal. Okay. Now tell me which one is the foreign key table and which one is the check table. So ZDemo employee is the check table
Why the checkable?
and ZDemo employee
Employee department
department
is
is the
the
foreign key table. So this field employee ID should be a primary key in the check table. Okay. Employee ID should be the primary key in the check table. Is it mandated to have a primary key in this ZDemo employee data foreign key table? Employee ID may or may not be a primary key field in foreign key table. It is optional. But in check table, it should be a primary key field. Now copy, click on copy. Now foreign key relationship is established between employee ID and ZDemo employee master table. Now this table is the foreign key table, and what is the check table for employee ID? What is the check table for employee ID? That employee master table. Now establish foreign key relationship for department ID also. Select that field, click on. What is the check table for department ID? We have already created a table, right, with the department. This one, ZDemo DEPT. Enter this and create proposal. It is assigned that foreign key relationship. Okay. So what is the check table for department ID? What is the check table for department ID?
GDemo
ZDemo
department.
GDemo department.
DEPT is the check
Department.
table for department ID. Now click on copy. Now foreign key relationship is assigned for department ID also. Like that, if we have different fields in the table, okay, for each field, if it is contains some master data, we can assign a foreign key relationship so that we can make sure to enter only valid values in the table, right? Now let's check this table. Yes. Did we maintain the technical settings? Yes, we maintained. Just activate the table. Now let's try creating the entries. We have assigned the foreign key relationship, right? To know the existing relationship, what you have to do? Select the field, place cursor on the field and click on the key symbol. It will show you the existing relationship. And also, if you go to this tab, here it will display the check table for that, right? If you go to this tab, entry help check, for each field, if there is foreign key relationship available, it will show that check table here, right? And foreign key is selected. Okay. Now create some entries in it. Now, if you see here, it is showing some F4 option, right? Why?
Yes, sir.
Because we assigned the foreign key relationship. So it will display whatever the records available in check table as a help. So all these employees are available in employee master table, right? 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. So you can only select one of these employees. Let's try 200. We don't find any match for 200. It is not allowing because it is not available in employee master table, right? Here, execute. Those are not available here, right? If 200 is available in this table, then only it will allow you to select that. In any other table where you have assigned this ZDemo employee as check table. Okay, let's check department ID. So these are the valid departments maintained in my
Department.
department master data, department check table. So we can select only one of these departments. Let's try selecting some SQL. SQL is not available in our master data, department master data. Click on save. What it is saying? Entry 200 does not exist in which table? It is throwing some error. Entry 200 does not exist in ZDemo employee ID because it is the check table for employee ID. ZDemo employee is the check table for employee ID field. Let's enter 100 and click on save now. Click on save. What it is saying now? SQL does not exist in ZDemo DEPT because for department ID, ZDemo DEPT is the check table and it is SQL is not available in the check table. Okay. To allow it, let's say SQL is a valid department. Let's assume SQL is the valid department and it's still throwing the error. What you need to do? First, you have to maintain this SQL department in department master data. Okay. Then you can use here. Clear? If you use SAP, it will allow. And for same employee ID 100, I'll assign Java department. Okay. And for SAP, I'll assign different employees. 101. I've created some data. Now let's find out. Enter employee ID 100. Execute. So now I know that employee ID 100 working in what are all the department that employee ID 100 is working. He's working in Java and SAP. And if you enter the any department, you can come to know how many employees are working in each department. SAP. Okay. In SAP we have two employees, 100 and 101. Like that you can check for different departments. Java. There are two employees working in Java. Okay. This is how we assign the foreign key relationship. Okay. Clear? Is everyone clear on this assigning foreign key relationship and the use of foreign key relationship?
Yes, sir.
So foreign key is the field level validation. Okay. Foreign key is the field level validation. And what do we call, what is the foreign key table? The table which we are assigning foreign key relationship is called the foreign key table. What is check table? The table which we are using as a check table for each field. For each field, we might have a different check table. For employee ID, we have one check table. For department ID, we have a different check table, right? Check tables are not common for all fields. Each field contains its own check table. Okay. Let's say there is a field called salary. Can we assign a foreign key relationship for salary? Can we assign foreign key relationship for salary? It is not recommended, right? It's a amount. It's a amount, and you may not have master data for amount. If it is a department, you might have master data. What are all the available departments? But for amount values, there is no such kind of validation available. Okay. So you can apply foreign key relationships on the master data values like employee ID or department ID, right? And country, these kind of values. Okay. Is everyone clear? So it's a very, very important interview question. 99% you'll get this question in every interview. They'll ask you what is a check table or what is foreign key relationship. Whenever they ask about check table or foreign key, what is your answer? Check table can be assigned using foreign key relationship. Okay. This is to this is for field level validation. Okay. It, we use foreign key relationship to make sure to enter correct data. Okay. To avoid incorrect data in the database tables, we use foreign key relationships. Okay. It's a field level validation. Okay. We
Okay,
have
sir.
another term like that is value table. Okay. We have one more table that is value table that is at the domain level. We'll see that in the next session. Okay. For now, we'll focus on the foreign keys. Is everyone able to understand how to assign a foreign key relationship? Is everyone able to understand? See, in the current table, this field may not be a primary key field, but in the check table, This department ID should be primary key field. Clear? So by using foreign key relationships, we make sure to enter only correct data. Okay? So we can restrict the user to enter any incorrect values. The invalid department or invalid employee ID, whatever. Okay? If you go to, I'll show you some standard tables. That is, let's go to Mara. Mara, what is Mara? Mara is a material master table. Okay? Okay? So here we have material number, that is Matner. Let's check, is there any foreign key relationship available for this? So there is no foreign key relationship, but because Mara itself is the master table. Wherever we are using this material number, right? Wherever you are using material number field, what is the check table for material number? What is the check table for material number? Mara. Okay.
Mara.
Go to the data element, go to the domain, go to the value ranges. What is the value table? Here value table is also maintained as Mara. Value table is a domain level validation. Okay, we'll see that in the next session, but please observe. Check table is field level validation. And what is value table? Value table is domain level validation. Okay, so that wherever you use this domain, same domain, automatically this domain level validation will be applied. But for foreign key, for each table you have to assign that foreign key relationship, right? Whatever the tables you have created, for each table, for each field you have to assign foreign key relationship. But if you add it as a value table, wherever you reuse this domain, this value table properties will be applied. Okay, so value table is a domain level validation. Clear? Now let's see the other fields. Let's check this material type, MTART, material type. Check the foreign key. There is a foreign key relationship available. What is the check table for this? T134. What is T134? T134 is the master table for material types. Okay. Now wherever you use, it's a primary key, right? Material type is the primary key in T134. It's a material type master table. Is it a primary key field in Mara? Is it a primary key field in Mara table? This MTRT.
No, sir.
No, right? No, that may not be a primary key, but it should be a primary key in check table here. This is the check table for material type. And let's check other fields too. MBRSH, material group. Sorry, MBRSH is industry sector. Check the foreign key. There is a foreign key relationship created. What is the check table for this? MBRSH T137. And it should be a MBRSH should be a primary key in this T137. That is the primary key, right? MATKL, material group. Check the foreign key. Foreign key is available, right? T023. Similarly, you can find in the same table, you can find many fields with foreign key relationship. What is this? Net weight. Can we expect a foreign key relationship for net weight? No, right? But unit. Check the unit of measurement. Check the foreign key. There is a check table for unit of measurement. All the valid unit of measurements will be saved here. What is unit of measurement? Like kg, cm, meter, kilometer, like that. These are all the unit of measurements, right? So Okay, hope it's clear. And again, I'll explain value table and how it works in the next session. At the same time, we'll one more time we'll work on the foreign key relationships because these are very important. When we are working in the projects, you should not simply create the table and leave it. You should establish or you should create foreign key relationships as well as you have to maintain value ranges or value tables in the domain level. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.